Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen. Start with 3 eggs, crack them into a bowl. If you can, use room temperature eggs. They whisk more easily when they're not cold. Now add 2 tablespoons of flour. Season with 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Then whisk until everything is well combined and smooth. Friends, I always enjoy knowing where you're from. Please share your city and country, and if you're in the US, let me know your state. Next, take 3 to 4 large potatoes, or about 5 medium ones. Grate them on the coarse side of a grater. Potatoes are what make this dish so comforting. They give us that soft, creamy texture, while also being full of potassium for heart health and muscle strength, plus fiber to keep us feeling full and support digestion. If you have any questions about the recipe, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments, and I'll reply as soon as I can. Once grated, rinse the potatoes well in cold water. This washes away the extra starch so the mixture doesn't turn watery. It also helps the potatoes bake up lighter and fluffier, just what we want. Drain them well, then transfer the potatoes into the bowl with the egg mixture. Now, finely chop 1 onion. For me, onions always carry a bit of nostalgia. They remind me of my grandmother's kitchen, where the sound of her knife on the cutting board and the smell of onions sizzling in the pan meant something delicious was on its way. Friends, if you enjoyed the video, a like would be much appreciated. It's the best way to support me. Add the chopped onion to the potato mixture. Next, take 1 red bell pepper and cut it into small cubes. Red peppers add such a cheerful color and a gentle sweetness that balances the savory flavors perfectly. I always think back to those summer days in the garden, picking fresh peppers that tasted warm and sweet from the sun. Friends, if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more recipes like this. Add the pepper to the bowl. Now, finely chop a small bunch of parsley. Fresh herbs bring brightness and life to any dish, and parsley is no exception. It doesn't just add color. It's packed with vitamins and antioxidants that are wonderful for our health. I remember helping my mother pick fresh herbs from the garden and how just a sprinkle of green could transform a meal. Add the parsley to the mixture. Finally, give everything a good mix. The colors blend together beautifully. Golden potatoes, red pepper, green parsley. It's like a little celebration in the bowl. Stirring it all feels comforting, almost like passing down a family tradition, the same way my mom used to do it. Drizzle a little olive oil onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. The oil keeps the potatoes from sticking and helps the edges turn perfectly golden and crisp. Now spoon the potato mixture onto the tray. I always love this step. It feels almost like shaping a little masterpiece. Spread it out gently into a rectangle, nice and even. Taking your time here means the bake will cook evenly, and you'll get that beautiful crust we're looking for. It's a bit like painting on a blank canvas, only this one will turn into something warm and delicious. Place the tray into the oven and bake at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for about 25 minutes. While that bakes, heat a drizzle of olive oil in a frying pan. Finely chop one onion. Onions bring so much depth to a dish. When they cook slowly, they release their natural sweetness, and beyond the flavor, they're full of antioxidants, wonderful for the heart and immune system. I find myself adding onions to almost everything because they make meals feel complete. And add it in. Let the onion sauté until soft and golden. While it's cooking, grate 2 cloves of garlic on a mini grater. The moment garlic hits the pan, the kitchen fills with that rich, comforting aroma. It always reminds me of my grandmother's kitchen, where just the smell of garlic frying meant something cozy and nourishing was coming to the table. Add the garlic to the pan and let it fry for a minute, just enough to release its flavor. Next, take 1 chicken breast and cut it into small cubes. I love using chicken breast. It's lean, light, and full of protein, which makes meals both healthy and satisfying. It also soaks up all the flavors we add, making it perfect for this recipe. On top of that, it's rich in B vitamins, which help boost energy and keep our minds sharp. Add the chicken to the pan with the onions and garlic and cook for about 5 to 7 minutes, stirring often until the pieces are fully cooked and golden on the edges. Now, chop 1 red bell pepper into small cubes. Bell peppers bring a gentle sweetness that balances the savory notes of the dish so beautifully. Every time I add them, I think of summer meals with vegetables picked fresh from the garden, simple, vibrant, and full of joy. Add the pepper to the pan and stir everything together. Season the mixture with half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Stir well so the chicken and vegetables are coated in that beautiful red color and rich flavor. Let it all cook together for another 3 to 5 minutes, just until the flavors meld. Now, grate 2 ounces, or about 60 grams of cheddar cheese. Cheddar has that sharp, creamy taste that melts perfectly, adding richness to the filling. It's also packed with calcium, wonderful for keeping bones and teeth strong. I always say grating cheese fresh is worth the effort. The flavor and aroma are simply irresistible. Add the cheddar to the pan, give it a stir, and watch as it melts into the chicken and vegetables, creating a creamy, savory filling. Once everything is combined, take the pan off the heat. Now, take the potato base out of the oven. It should be beautifully golden with slightly crispy edges. Cut it into squares, just like you see in the video. Spoon the chicken, filling onto each square. Then gently roll them up into little parcels. They look so inviting, perfect bite-sized portions, packed with flavor. Next, prepare a baking dish. Grease it with a little olive oil and spread it evenly with a brush, so nothing sticks. Place the rolls inside, fitting them snugly, but without pressing too tightly. Now, grate 2 ounces, or 60 grams of soft cheese. This cheese melts into a smooth, velvety layer, adding the final touch of richness. Sprinkle it over the top of the rolls, then return the dish to the oven. Bake for another 15 minutes at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius until the cheese is melted and golden. While the rolls are baking, let's prepare a creamy sauce. In a bowl, combine 3 tablespoons of sour cream with 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. On a mini grater, grate 1 clove of garlic. Its aroma makes the sauce wonderfully fragrant. Season with half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of paprika. Add 2 teaspoons of tomato paste. Then finely chop some parsley. stir it in. Mix everything well until smooth and colorful. This sauce adds a tangy, creamy contrast that pairs perfectly with the richness of the rolls. When the rolls are ready, take them out of the oven. The tops are golden, the filling is creamy, and the potatoes are tender yet crisp on the edges. Serve them warm with a generous spoonful of the sauce. And there you have it. Soft, cheesy potato rolls with a flavorful chicken filling. Comforting, hearty, and made for sharing with family. I hope this recipe brings warmth and joy to your home, just as it always does to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today, but don't go just yet. There's another cozy and tasty recipe I'd love to share with you. Let's start with the potato. Take 10 ounces, or about 300 grams. Grate them on the coarse side of your grater. Potatoes have always been that reliable friend in the kitchen, humble, hearty, and always satisfying. Now, transfer the grated potatoes into a bowl. Sprinkle with 2 teaspoons of salt, and gently mix with your hand. I always prefer to use my hands here. It's the best way to feel the texture and make sure the seasoning spreads evenly. Let the potatoes rest for a few minutes so they release a little liquid. While the potatoes are resting, let's move on to zucchini. Grate 1 small zucchini the same way. Zucchini always brings me back to summer gardens. Do you remember how fast they used to grow? One day, just tiny little blossoms, and the next, big green vegetables ready to pick. Place the grated zucchini into another bowl. Add 2 teaspoons of salt and mix gently with your hand. Let it sit just like the potatoes. This step will make sure our dish turns out light and not watery. Now, let's get back to our potatoes. Take a small handful at a time and squeeze them really well. You want to get rid of as much liquid as possible. This step is important because it helps our dish hold together and cook up nice and golden. Place the squeezed potatoes into a clean bowl. Do the same with the zucchini, but this time add it straight into the bowl with the potatoes. Next, grab a carrot and grate it. Isn't it beautiful how that bright orange color comes through? Carrots add a natural sweetness and such a cheerful note to the dish. Every time I grate a carrot, I can't help but remember my childhood, when a simple bowl of grated carrot with just a sprinkle of sugar felt like the most special dessert in the world. Add the grated carrot to the bowl. Now let's add even more color. Take 1 bell pepper and cut it into thin strips. Don't you just love how vibrant they look? Red, yellow, green. They always remind me of summer markets overflowing with baskets of fresh produce. And the best part? Bell peppers are actually richer in vitamin C than oranges, so they're a real boost for the immune system. Add those beautiful slices right into the bowl with the rest of the vegetables. Now, let's add a handful of fresh parsley, finely chop it, and just look at how bright and green it is. Parsley is never just a garnish. It's full of vitamin K to keep our bones strong, and powerful antioxidants that help our bodies every single day. And of course, it gives the dish that fresh from the garden aroma that makes every bite taste so alive. Sprinkle it right into the bowl. Next, crack in 3 eggs. Eggs are what bring everything together. They bind the vegetables and give our basket structure so they hold their shape once baked. Then season with 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Add 3 tablespoons of flour as well. Now, give everything a really good mix. If your eggs are at room temperature, it will blend even more smoothly. Don't rush this step. Mixing thoroughly makes sure the flavors are balanced in every bite. I always think of this step as giving the dish a little extra love. Take a baking sheet and line it with parchment paper. Drizzle just a touch of olive oil right on top. Then with a brush, spread it evenly across the surface. This not only keeps the baskets from sticking, but also helps the vegetables bake up with that gentle golden crust we all love. Now let's take portions of our vegetable mixture and place them on the prepared tray, just like I show you in the video. Shape each one into a little round. And with the back of a spoon, make a small hollow in the center. Think of them as tiny nests, waiting to be filled with something delicious later. They already look so pretty. Place the tray into a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius and let them bake for about 20 minutes. While the baskets are in the oven, let's move on to the filling. Heat a frying pan with just a drizzle of olive oil. Now finely chop 1 white onion. Onions may seem like such a simple ingredient, but they're full of antioxidants that support our heart and overall health. And when you cook them gently, they soften and release that beautiful sweetness. Sauté until they're golden and fragrant. The sound of onions sizzling always takes me back to my mother's kitchen. It was her way of letting us know dinner was coming soon. Next, take 10 ounces, or about 300 grams of chicken breast. Slice it into thin strips first. Then into neat little cubes. A sharp knife makes this easier and helps keep the pieces even, so they cook quickly and evenly. As I cut, I can't help but think about how chicken breast is one of the most versatile ingredients we have. It's lean, tender, and full of protein to keep us strong and energized. Now add the chicken to the pan with the onions. Sauté for just 2 to 3 minutes until the pieces start turning white. Then season with 1 teaspoon of paprika and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Stir it well so every little cube is coated in that warm, aromatic spice. Next, grate 1 fresh tomato. This little step makes such a big difference. It gives the chicken filling a light, natural sauce and just the right hint of tang, keeping everything juicy and full of flavor. And oh, that smell! Freshly grated tomato always takes me back to late summer days, when the garden was heavy with sun-warmed tomatoes. Add the tomato to the pan and let it blend with the chicken and onion, tying all the flavors together. Once everything looks saucy and fragrant, take it off the heat. By now, our vegetable baskets should be ready. Take them out of the oven and using a spoon, gently fill each hollow with the chicken mixture. Press it down just a little so the filling sits snugly inside. Now it's time for the magic touch, cheese. Grate about 5 ounces or 150 grams of soft cheese, like mozzarella or really any mild melty cheese your family loves. Sprinkle it generously over the baskets. That golden topping is going to make them irresistible. Slide the tray back into the oven and bake for another 20 minutes at 320 degrees Fahrenheit or 160 degrees Celsius until the cheese is bubbling and beautifully melted. While the baskets finish baking, let's prepare a quick sauce. Grate 1 small cucumber on a mini grater. Place it into a bowl. Add half a cup, or about 100 grams, of sour cream. Half a teaspoon of black pepper. Season with half a teaspoon of salt. Mix well until smooth and creamy. This sauce is cool and refreshing, the perfect balance to the warm, cheesy baskets. Now, let's take out our golden baskets from the oven. Just look at them. The vegetables roasted to perfection, the chicken tender and juicy, the cheese melted into that gorgeous crust. Place a couple on a plate. And finish with a generous spoonful of the cucumber sour cream sauce on the side. There you have it, a dish perfect for family dinners, or even to surprise your guests with something a little different. I truly hope this recipe brings as much warmth and joy to your table as it always does to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today. Until next time, happy cooking!